It's just like the Skins game that's coming up next year on ABC. The best. Here they are. 21 titles for Pete Weber. Triple Crown winner like Billy. Twice Player of the Year, Walter Ray Williams. 13 titles.
Walter Ray starts out just as we expected, and Pete Weber always likes to finish a match first. That means he starts second. His thought is that if I put the strikes on the board, it's twice as tough for a guy who will be Walter Ray if it comes down to crunch time, the 10th frame, to throw the strikes. So let's see what happens. Here's his first shot.
Who says body English doesn't help?
Well, I'll tell you what, Billy Hardwick, as you watch this replay, this is a shot that you would never see back in the 1960s or 70s.
No, actually, when I throw that ball, that's how I shot my 10 pin. I'm not used to the ball coming back like that.
Look at this.
He knows he didn't wait for that ball, Chris. He wanted to get on it too quickly. The big hook ball players have to wait for it like anybody else, but he jumps right on it, leaves the 3, 6, 9, 10. Needs to get the ball between the 3 and 6, have the ball carry out the 9. The 6 will take out the 10. I think one of the toughest spares at any time, but even tougher here in this situation.
Wow.
Billy Hardwick, spare technique right there. What do you think?
Well, the shot really surprises me, Bo, because on the sideline before the match, when he came over, he came back and he was talking how the left lane was hooking more, and he got over here and he threw the ball slower than he did on the right lane, and that really surprised me for Pete.
Pete Weber's opponent, most 10s, 24 games, 32 games, said he went 6 blocks without getting mad.
When you strike every ball, Chris, you never get mad.
No.
Average 243 as he set new standards at 16 and 24, but right now, those are all gone by as he trails by 24 pins with just 8 frames remaining in the 1994 Showboat Invitational.
Walter Ray with 3 in a row. And now let's see how Pete responds after an open frame, shooting in the 3rd, trailing by 34.
Pete ranked number 10 on the computer in the world. Walter Ray, obviously, number 1. The style of Weber, just that little shuttle step to get going. 5-step delivery, just riveted on the target. The highest backswing of any player we have out here on the tour today. Just up in the top and just drives straight through. Tremendous leverage in the swing, under control. Look at that finish, the left shoulder pulling back the right. Now 4th frame, going for a double.
The Pete Weber we know and love, as his father, Dick, watches here in Las Vegas. Juanita is at home. There's Richard. You know, this year's championship trophy casts a big shadow here in the desert, and so does the chairman of the Showboat, Frank Modica. Here at the Showboat, we're in our championship match. Walter Ray Williams, Jr. going against Pete Weber.
Walter trying to run the table today, win all 4 match, coming from the number 5 position to number 1.
Stop in 10 pin.
So it's a 10 pin on the right lane. Not an unfamiliar sight for Walter Ray.
Billy Hardwick, Walter Ray rolls the ball much like we did in the 60s and 70s. How do you think he gets away with that type of shot when most all the players are power players today?
Well, you know, the equipment is so good today, and I watched real close. Walter Ray's the only player that I've seen that does not wipe the oil line off his ball. He keeps the oil on the track so the ball will skid further, and the ball, that's like it did in the 60s. But he'd be a great track shooter.
In other words, when the oil comes back, and I really haven't noticed, most players wipe it off. He keeps that residue on there and it lets him hold the line.
Exactly.
Leads by 23, 5th frame.
How do we make it, Bo?
Nasty shot here. What he has to do, there's two ways you can look at this. In his situation, should he take a high chance and try to slide the 6 over into the 4, or just shoot it and bounce one out of the pit? I think Walter is really cogitating on what to do. Should I slide it over? I think he's just going to try to bounce it out, going with extra speed. Good attempt.
Each great professional now with an open frame and 10 pins separating them near the halfway point.
And what a break for Weber. Uncharacteristic of Walter Ray, opening in the 5th. Right now, Weber with a strike can even the match.
Speed like that. And so did his dad, Dick, and his wife, Kim. Kim, whose father, John Schulteis, has a birthday today. There's a smile.
I think Dick says, I can't believe that power. He threw one of the most powerful balls back in the 50s and 60s, but nothing like his son Peter goes. Match all even, 5 frames.
Hey, that's good. The 10
Same shot that Walter Ray had in the 4th frame when he had the gauntlet in hand to take a big lead. The ringing 10. Watch the 6 pin, second one on the right-hand part of your screen, just accelerate around the 10.
Bo Burton and I are here with Billy Hardwick. Watching with you, Walter Ray Williams.
That's a bit tight to lift.
6-10 and the pirouette.
Billy Hardwick, you always had one of the really good, solid approaches, and I believed in that in the game. And Walter, for the first time today, falls off balance to the right.
Yeah, he either stuck or slipped. I don't know what he did, but that definitely made a difference in the shot.
I think slip. When you try to throw it too hard, you slip on that pivot step. He's got a little trouble. Sorry, Chris, that was a big count when you look at it, because if he had gotten 9, it would have been tied. But now that he has 8, he's only stays 1 pin. I'm sorry, if he had gotten 9, he'd have been 2 pins ahead. With 8, he's only 1, and that makes a big difference, that 1 pin at this point.
That's probably the worst shot he's thrown in a year and a half.
37,000 the winner of this game, 19 to the runner-up. For Pete Weber, it's his 66th television appearance. He wasn't born when we started this series. He's only 31.
Pete, extreme left side of the lane, up to the approach, very smooth at the foul line. Watch this angle.
Again. Oh, that gets that leg kick down at 10.
Replay that one.
Looks like a pinball machine. You know, one of those machines where you do something good and an extra ball comes shooting out? Looks like 11 pins in a rack as Pete chops out the 10. He only trails by 1, can take the lead with a strike. Led every single round. The last time he did that was in 1991 in Baltimore, and he led the tournament and won it.
And was the last person to do it.
Jumped up and boom.
You know what's fascinating about these two is they're so confident and so great. It's not a question if they're going to make the shot. It's a question of whether they're going to carry.
Good point, Billy. There you go, Pete. Way to go.
Cheering him on. That's something that Dick's late father couldn't do, Bo. He'd watch him maybe 1 frame and then take off.
Walter Ray, this is the biggest shot of this championship match. He can take an 11-pin lead.
Oh.
I rest my case.
Yeah, it's gotta hurt.
Well, he's made all the proper moves. He comes to a position where he wants himself, where he can take the big lead, and he just gets wrapped. The solid 8, still 2 frames left, and he will have a 1-pin lead. He still can determine his own destiny.
fishing today, as always. Butch Stolper, who made some money here in Las Vegas, bowling. Got off balance of the line, Billy, and
Unbelievable. I mean, this is, you know, when you and Bo do one of your bowling tip tapes, then you guys need to put this down. It's one for the ages. It really is. This is a great match with two great players.
I'm glad you're here to enjoy it with us, Billy.
That's not good.
All right, let's give Pete Weber this 10-pin. He's a good spare shooter. If he spares and strikes out 214, Walter Ray Williams Jr. going at a 206 pace, the whole tournament's going to come down to the 10th frame.
The title is the same. Here's a man from the St. Louis area. Bo, I want to send our heartfelt wishes to another St. Louis giant bowler, Tom Hennessy.
Man who won the first tournament here in 1960. Now, Weber, championship game, 10th frame.
Good ball. Good ball.
Father liked it.
You know, Tom Hennessy is one of the most important men in my life, and I'd like to wish him my best also because I love him like a father. Hope he gets well soon.
Weber's never had the lead in the match. He can take the lead with this strike.
Carry out there, carry. Yeah. All right. Come on, never know here.
Chris, Pete Weber said it to me before we started the match. I like to finish first. I like to post the strikes. I like to make my opponent have to strike to beat me. That's exactly what he has done. Walter must strike at least once as he comes up.
Father says, Pete, nice game.
You know, Bo, I teach that with everybody I've ever taught in bowling. I always thought I won more matches sitting down than I did standing up. Put the pressure on the other guy.
Well, he must perform here. He needs a strike 8 spare to win. Anything less, it's Weber.
That's 7.
He needs 8 spare to win. I'll tell you what, I saw one of the nicest things I've ever seen. Pete looked at Dick, his father, and Dick is clapping for the performance so far of Walter Ray. That is class unbelievable. It's not over yet, but that has shown me something at all phases of all these people involved.
With a capital C.
Just indeed, spear. That's cool.
He needs to make this to win. It's not over, Pete. Oh, yes, he does. Sorry about that. 214, it's a lock. Even if he misses, it'll be a 214, 213, spare 215. What a match.
The score was 215, 214.
You were here and you saw it live from the Showboat in Las Vegas. It was a great afternoon of bowling.